So hello everyone and welcome back. This is Bogdan and I'm really happy that today we can play the Sinking City. If you remember, we played a couple of months back Call of Cthulhu. That was a 2018 game. You can also find it in my channel. I will leave a link in the description. And today we have something else, something new, the Sinking City. This game just came out on the 25th of June and I am really excited that we can start this thing. So guys, if you have any form of feedback, it will be highly appreciated. Thank you in advance and let's have some fun. It is the first time I'm playing this game, so I have no idea how to play it. Alright. We have a case book. Oh, so we have the Mind Palace case book lore skills. So guys, if you are interested, I'm playing this on PC. And on Epic and Ultra settings. So we already have the main case. Okay, everything is empty for the moment, but we have the skill tree and we have combat, vigor and mind. Experience, okay. Vigor, combat, pro efficiency, map. Nothing yet, so let's go. Case book evidence. Okay, so this is our aid. Pressing on T.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
We cannot zoom in on any element right now. Just trying to get our hands... Whoa, that was an interesting interaction. Yeah. Don't wonder you have nightmares. You see that on the wall? Come on. You were just standing next to my door, or?
Take your belongings off my ship first.
Okay.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
We have oh, nice gun. It has a small detail here, you see.
Hope I never have to use it. But something tells me I will.
Yeah, better to have it with us. And we also have we have 6 bullets, alright.
Now get out.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature. Scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm...
Okay, so he will find us, alright. Let's open the map and search for some key places. Oh, we can zoom in, zoom out, nice. Ha, the advantages of playing on a computer. So the map looks like the vampire one. Also the marking, if you see. The Oakmont Chronicle. We have the police department, hospital, alright. And this is the university library, city hall. Okay, so they are divided here. And I guess this is our boat. I'm not sure. So we have the case book. Find Robert. Okay. Let's go to the Devil Reef Hotel. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Okay, and place a marker here. Yes. Thank you. And now. Can we run? Yes, we can run, of course. Alright, so where is our boat? We have to get our boat first. First of all. Whoa, man, this game is really detailed, and I see here we have Robert.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is final.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. These fishermen supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
Sorry, did you just say...
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Alright, so you have new clues and a new mission, alright. Interesting. What creature? I'm afraid to pet him, alright. So, let me see, where should we go? And what is this? Key evidence collected. And let's go then to this place. Alright. So it's back here. And we should go somewhere. See? We have a flashlight.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Okay, just collecting
The
some
book is
items.
damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
And what is this? Mushroom collection, what? See what's on this side of the house. We clearly have the traditional way of arranging a house.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay, my head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That sounds familiar. Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders show some respect. K is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. K have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, Detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, K, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Choo choo.
Alcohol, exactly what we need right now.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Oh man, what's going on here? So we have whoa.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Five cards short of a full house.
Yeah, not sure what that means, but alright. And then in this room maybe. Okay, so you see the second meter, the blue one, is going down when you use it.
Ed, I still hear those voices.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
So let's see, maybe we have more clues around here. Not. We took everything from there. Right. Interesting, I say. Interesting.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
So we have something, alright.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
So I think this is the first one.
What's happening?
Second one.
Yeah,
Third one.
run! Take this, ape face. Yeah, run! Take this, ape face.
This was incorrect also. So let's try it again. 1, 2.
Take this. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Oh, so he left the place through here. Interesting. So let's go to the Mind Palace. Albert attacked the fishermen at their house as soon as he regained consciousness. We cannot do anything with it yet. Combine the clues to make deductions. So, Albert attacked the fisherman, then sudden psychotic outbreak for Albert. So, we have as an Innsmouter, Lewis and his people suffered on the hands of the Throgmortons. That could be the reason to hate them. Okay, let's go back to the clues and arrange it a little bit. So we have one fisherman is missing, and then... no. So I can track down Albert. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight in the house. I can track them using my supernatural sense. Interesting. Let's see what we can do more. So he returned unstable and was dangerous and posed a threat to Lewis Flynn and his fellow fishermen. Alright. And now spread some sort of psychic influence which made everyone nearby suffer hysteria. Okay. Interesting. So we have something right now. I can track down Albert. But let's see. Because he fled through here. Ah, you're showing me the way, alright.
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
So, they went this way, it seems. Hold on. They were pointing a direction, right? Maybe it doesn't hurt to ask.
Oh. Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
What's up with these
The
guys?
port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Okay, okay, you don't have to shout. Yeah, so let's go back to the point where that last ghost showed us the way. I think it was back here. Where are you? Yes.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
New clue. Hold on. So Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert because he was a Frogmorton rather than just drive him off. It makes sense. This could be. So let's see where this Lewis is.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
Because what happened here is that there should be a family feud or something.
So the fisherman...
But where did he run afterwards? It seems that this way. I'm enjoying the game really much. There is no clue to pick up. And now I think he went up there. Oh, wait. I saw a clue here.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Left or right, I guess right. And now... So all the clues in the world are here. I like it. Warehouse. I'm not sure what we picked up, but I guess nothing. This is just fish laying around here.
There's something in the pocket.
A blood-stained note from Peter. One more week, I know I owe you. Okay.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
So we have someone downstairs, but before going in there, I want to see if we can equip our pistol. And let's see. Inventory. How can we equip this weapon? But don't we already have it? I mean... So hold on. We should have the combat. If you are crouched, hostiles are less likely to detect you. Oh, this is good to know. Alright. So, how should we open inventory weapons? Ah, we craft another bullet. This is good to know, okay. So we need shell casings and gunpowder in order to make some bullets. But how do we take it out? I'm not really sure, but we will manage it. Let's see. Ah, hold on, I did not want to do that, alright. So we are crouched right now with the control button. Padlocks. So are weak planks that can be broken with a shot or melee attack. Alright. Now
The door won't budge.
How do you melee attack? So many questions and so less answers. Interesting. Let's see, maybe it says here. Evidence map, mind's eye. Omens, like a ghost, okay. And combat. Diving, okay. This is the flashlight. Okay, we will get it in a second there. So let's do it like this.
Door won't budge.
Wait.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's the way.
What's going on? Oh man, what was that creature? But at least we found Albert. He is not in very good shape, but at least we found him, and now Mr. Robert Fromson, or what his name was, will now know the truth. We have to get back and report. So, let's go back to the Mind Palace and let's do it like this. Lewis may be at the bar. Okay. I am not really sure about this, but I guess we will see. First thing first, we must go back and report this to Mr. Robert. Okay, let's do it like this, guys. And he was right, for someone this wounded, he was strong enough to go up those crates. So let's go back and report, and then we can advance.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible, and when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilt for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes, make him beg for mercy.
I don't know exactly. I have some suspects, but I need to investigate further.
What kind of private eye are you?
A thorough one. When I find him, I'll tell you.
Fine. No one leaves the port until then. Find me that dirtbag and I'll help you with anything you need.
Okay, then it's a deal. Very good. We made some important progress around here. But right now I want to go here on the map and wait a second. So this was Robert request, yes. All evidence collected. Here is the bar. Let's see if Lewis is here. Lewis was like the fishing looking person. It's easy to recognize him among the others. Okay, so we are here.
I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things. For a small fee, I'll tell you some of them.
Alright, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Some other time.
Okay.
Maybe.
As you wish.
Not very relevant at this point.
Hey, knock it off!
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell the perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Rock. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him, once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
So this was because we found a note. I think you remember, guys, we found a note in our previous investigation.
Get them! Oh.
Let me see where this guy is.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea.
though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
Ah, come on, man.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Yeah, so I think it is clear, but we had a decision there. We took a decision there. It is clear for us that he did it. Mind Palace. So he was mentally affected and couldn't entirely control his actions. Was aware what he was doing. So he was not aware. Lewis was under mental influence. So Lewis killed Albert while under some sort of mental influence, just like in Call of Cthulhu. He couldn't control his actions and thus he can be blamed. I could try and cover or else... Okay. Let's try and discuss with Mr. Robert Frogmorton. Where is this guy? I think back here, alright. So the initial plan was to go back to the hotel and leave our stuff, but it seems that we updated accordingly. Let's see what Mr. Robert has to say. So now is the decision, I'm thinking. Because he was not himself and...
Just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Okay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I need it to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Oldgrove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Oh, yes. This is some good reward. A big reward, in fact. Yeah, this is interesting. So we have a new case after Albert's death. So guys, I would like to just thank you all for your support. And I think this is a good time to end the first part. It is a little longer because this is how we put the first part right now. More interesting stories, and I see that we already encountered some first 2 or 3 interesting characters. Let's see how this game develops, but so far this game is awesome. And of course, before leaving, let me see if we can save this. Oh, nice. Accept. Okay. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and we will hear in the next episode for the sinking city. Have a great day, guys. Bye.